In this video, we are going to talk about the 8 Kaizer Chiefs development players who are currently training with the senior team. I added the 2 of them because they are not officially promoted yet, but in this report that I read, they did not include the other 2 players. So I'm going to count them, and we're also going to talk about their status. Are they ready to be promoted? We're also going to talk about Nkosi Ngiphile Ngcobo's new contract and everything about Nkosi Ngiphile Ngcobo himself. Hello and welcome to Nkosi Nation Fan TV. I am Ste, I am your host, and this is where fans meet and talk about Kaizer Chiefs Amakhosi Football Club. So let's start with Nkosi Ngiphile Ngcobo's contract. Kaizer Chiefs are trying by all means necessary to not go through the same thing that they went through with Njabulo Blom. And I commend them for that, because if they do something that is okay, then we're going to say, okay, good job. Because now there are plans of signing Nkosi Ngiphile Ngcobo to a 3-year deal that will see his contract running until 2027. That's good investment, because if you want to sell him, or if someone wants to come in and sell him, then you're going to get a very hefty or reasonable price for the player, because we don't want to lose the player like we did with Njabulo Ngcobo, with Njabulo Blom, with 6 months remaining on his contract, and you end up getting peanuts for a player who could have potentially earned you a lot of money. So now, when I saw this thing right on Twitter, people were talking, because they always talk, right? It's Twitter, YouTube too. I want to hear your thoughts about this. I see a lot of people commenting and talking about Tuguti Nkosi Ngiphile Ngcobo needs to go out and be loaned out because of other things. Some people saying Nkosi Ngiphile Ngcobo is a good player, he needs good coaching. Here's my thing, man. I think Umshini is top quality player. Last season he got injured a lot, right? So now there's him, there's Mduduzi Mdantsane, who's definitely most likely did you see how many times I changed my sentence? Who's most likely going to start? Mduduzi Mdantsane. There is Usamkelo Zwane. There is Uyusef Mat. Those players kind of got ahead of him. Obviously now everything is back to square one because the season is starting afresh. It got me thinking, Uguti, is it really something that we can think about loaning him out? Because if you think about it, having a player like Nkosi Ngiphile Ngcobo sit on the bench will not be a good thing, right? Because imagine he's like playing second fiddle to Mduduzi Mdantsane, who's probably followed by Yusuf Mat. Yabo Guti, that's not gonna be a good thing. So what do I think? I think Ngcobo is good enough to compete and be a starter at Kaizer Chiefs, because I honestly believe Uguti, if Ngcobo can improve his defensive part of the game, he can be a really good midfielder. Because yes, he's good right now, but now kusenaleyo nto leyo ukuthi with midfielders there's the offensive part which is good at. He's good with his passes, he's good with taking men on, he's good with taking ama shots as well. But the problem when you have to defend, it's a problem. And I know there are people who are old school here who watch this channel and they're gonna say, oh no, but you should have people who are going to be defensive in the team. But everyone defends now. The only people who are exceptions to this rule, the only one that I know of, umezi kuphela umuntu ongamark. Even on Mbappe, when they stopped marking, you saw what happened in the final of the World Cup. They almost got destroyed by Argentina, because even though Messi was not marking for Argentina, there was Depol who's always marking for himself, and Messi as well. So now the time for players who only go forward and don't go back is over, because everyone now must mark. If we are going forward, also everyone goes forward. So that's why I'm saying I think Umshini just needs to improve his defensive side, because if he doesn't improve his defensive side, then we might just see him struggling to get a place with the Kaizer Chiefs. But that's me. What do you think about Umshini? Let me know down on the comment section below, and also please share this video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, because that helps me reach more people like you. Now let's talk about the players that have been invited to join the senior team in their warm-up. I'm going to start with Aiden McCarthy. Aiden McCarthy, we've seen him, Uguti, he's been with the team. And what I heard actually is the fact that Ubaba, his father, Fabian McCarthy, did not want his son to focus more on football. at this point because does not want his son to focus on football right now because he wants him to prioritize his education and then he can focus on football as well, which I think is a good strategy. I hear go to Aiden is going to University of Johannesburg, if not Wits, if I'm not mistaken. So that's good. So I don't think he will be one of those people who could then be reliable to be in the senior team, but being involved with the senior team from time to time and being called up when he's needed, then I think that's not a bad idea at all because MDC he has played and we've seen good, okay, good. I know some people say Aiden McCarthy is only there because his father is a legend. I don't know why the hate. I think he's a good player, but to see that, we'll still have to see him play in these other matches when we're playing against the teams that we see as smaller teams. And also, this would be so great, guys. Like, angifuna ukuzwakala ngiyacomplain. Why do teams, not just Kaizer Chiefs, why do teams in South Africa not have pre-season matches where they just play against teams from Abo Botswana, from teams even from Abo Lesotho, teams that are close by, so that we get to experience or to see the other players playing as well, because we don't want to just see a senior team starting in August when the season starts and then that's all you see. We want to see all these players live playing under the being watched by us fans, because some players play well in my preseason, but that's not under the pressure of being watched by Kaizer Chiefs fans. And then when it comes to the season starts, and then all of a sudden they're overwhelmed by this entire pressure, and then the player was just not used to the pressure. And if you ease them in by getting them used to the pressure and the fans during preseason, then by the time the season starts, the players will be ready and they will have gotten used to playing, being watched by so many people. Because some of these players, take for example Upule Modi Kwayena, I know he's 30, but the only time that he played in a stadium that's full or kind of sold out was when he was playing against Chiefs, Pirates, and then abalandele nyana abancane ke be Sundowns ke nakhona it would be like you see some fans. But now if you just come upule mode week in week out, now it's a lot of fans who are going to boo you if you fail to trap the ball. I think we should do something about that and get these players to play in front of the fans Guyo preseason. That's my thoughts. I don't know what you think, guys. And another player obviously is Utuba. Utuba now is one of those players who was there with the team last season, but it did not really get much of play time. We're going to see what they're going to do this season, because now we have Uchiba Biro, right, who's going to be a starter. I foresee him being a starter. And then after him, because it's clear they're not releasing UPM Mnyama, so Caleb is going to be there. There's also Usaile, there's Utupri through the middle. So now I fear Uguti, because on the wings I think they are going to play Utoli on the left and then play Umodi on the right. So I fear now Uguti space for Utuba might become a problematic thing. And because last season it didn't seem like they trusted him, I wouldn't be mad if they sent him on a loan. Because here's the thing, in a perfect world where Kaizer Chiefs does what I wish them to do, I would see Utuba being second after Chibabiro, right? It would be Chibabiro and then it would be Tuba after him. But with the Kaizer Chiefs that we have right now, it's clear that's not going to happen. It's going to be Chibabiro. After Chibabiro, it's going to be Caleb, and then Dupri, or Dupri will be playing as a winger. So to me, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a season where Utuba will actually be given a lot of time to play. As such, I wouldn't be mad if he was sent out on a loan, because then he would get some game time and then he would come back to Chiefs and play more. That's just the reality of the situation. Now, let's go to the other players that have been called up to practice with the senior team. The first one being Mfundo Vilakazi. Mfundo Vilakazi, I made a video a few weeks, if not months ago. Uguti, I feel like he's also not a player who's going to go in and start immediately with the Kaizer Chiefs. I think alright, a good development, and then he can come in to his senior team from time to time. But if you give him promotion right now, now you are part of the senior team, I think that's a step too quick. I feel like he's one of those who are ones to watch for the future, but not to promote him in this season, especially with a team that is still rebuilding. As such, don't just bring a player in while we're still rebuilding. Bring him on, Masesas good Sesne Foundation. The walls are up and we just need to finish up the other things that need to be finished up. But for now, I would definitely keep Mfundo Vilakazi in the development. I'm going to go to another one. Tejane, right wing back, we saw him last season. He was brought in a lot of times with the team, and when Frosler and Solomons were injured, and he ended up not playing. What do we do now? Because there is Frosler, there is Solomons, and then the third backup is actually Ukwinika. With Tejane as well, I would also say he's one of those who should be kept close enough to the senior team, but not as a person who can be promoted at this time, because once again, if Frosler is not doing well, there's Solomons. If Solomons, then they can play Ukwinika as well. Or like if they want a player who's more offensively minded, attack minded, then you bring on Tejane as well. But keep him close to the senior team. I don't want this thing of promoting players to the senior team without a proper plan. Another player that they did not include, that I'm just adding here, is Omega Mdaga. We are Gumdali that I thought is the one who was going to be given a promotion, but there it is. He's not been promoted, so it stays there. Let me go through the list now, because I forgot the other players, because there are a lot. Takalani Mazamba, who's a goalkeeper. I don't get it. Because Bontle Mlife, Akiri Wuyumuntu, who seemed like he was promoted, but then was also with development. But then people have been saying a lot about Utakalani Ugutai. He's even a better goalkeeper than Bontle Mlife. So that's interesting. If he achieves, because right now Kun is transitioning out, and then there's Brendan Peterson, and then there are rumors of Bruce Bvuma being sold or being loaned out, then a goalkeeper might not be a better idea to actually bring up, because it's clear we're not trying to sign a goalkeeper. So then I don't see a problem with promoting another goalkeeper to get them used to the situation of being in the senior team. Next one is Utulan Mabaso, a CDM. I would say bring him up, especially right now, because you have Opas is not being signed. You have Umtetwa, we're still searching and we're not sure what's happening there. So we don't have a CDM, right, Chiefs, as it stands. So just promote him and bring him up to his senior team, or in that transition, the hybrid Tuguti. I'm still playing for development, but if I'm needed in the senior team, I am there for the senior team. In fact, he can spend most of his time with the senior team, but then if we see Woods is not ready yet, then just keep him playing for development, because Chiefs, the way it seems like they might sign a defensive midfielder, but it might just be one, and then there's no backup for him. The only other people abangama backup are not natural defensive midfielders, because we've released Cole, and now we don't have a defensive midfielder. Next one is Usiyabonga Kumede, a very good centre back once again, and we released Ungezana once again. Usiyabonga Kumede is one of those on a character that I think can actually come into a senior team and start competing, because there's still rumors of Taban Dube is not training with the senior team. So if Dube is not training with the senior team, Ungezana is gone. Now you have those two starters, Utitlokwe, Nomsimango, and then the people who are competing with them is Unjabulo Ngobo Nokwinik. Ukumete can go there and compete. So bring him on, because this also gives you flexibility. If they want to go for a formation that has a back 3 or a back 5, however you look at it, then Ukumete can be there, because now you are playing 3. That means you have one defender or on the bench. So if you bring on Ukumete, it gives you more options as well. So I would say Ukumete, if they are pleased with him, they should be promoting him. Those are just Mpilo's calculations. Next one is Uneo Buhloko, another midfielder. We have a lot of midfielders. In fact, I've said we're to have signed a lot of midfielders, and I don't think we should be bringing in another midfielder from development to sit on the bench. That's the list. That's what I think. What do you think about all of these players? Which one should be promoted? Which one should be kept in a hybrid form of a sort of position? You're good, you're in development and senior team. Let me know down on the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember, equals Alpelumoy.